guys are more than welcome to disagree with me if you think so. I think we've heard a lot from these guys. And I think what they've said has really said a lot. It's said it all. I don't know if there's much more that we could say. So what I would think, and this is what I'm thinking before we make a motion, 2 minutes. If you have any comments you want to make for a candidate, it would be my preference. You make a comment for candidates, you can lay things out for each one, but you have 2 minutes. And I'll time you. At the end of 2 minutes, I'm going to call time, and then we'll have a vote. That's my plan. So I would put forth a motion that we adopt that plan where we each have 2 minutes to make whatever case we want to make or comments that we want to make, and then you vote. That's the motion that's before the board.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for 2-minute deliberation, discussion per member. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Secretary, let's go in alphabetical order, please.
Jennifer Carroll.
I'm not going to speak on behalf of any per se candidate. I just wanted to, I feel like every one of us we've taken in a lot of information tonight, and we know in our minds, so I'm not going to sway or boast one or the other. We are all smart. We know what our decision should be. When I made my decision, I was elected, and my determination on running for the board was to speak for teachers and educators, and I made my decision as an educator and a teacher what I want to see. So that's how I look at a candidate, as a teacher, as an educator in a classroom. That's how I'm looking. So I may not look at other aspects that others see, but I'm looking at that. I'm also looking as a mother. I have 2 children who are in school. So those are the specifics that I'm looking for. I'm also looking as a lifelong resident of Millington and what I want to see in our city. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Carroll.
Cody Childers.
I don't mind telling y'all, this has been the worst week of my life. I got to get a new cell phone tomorrow because mine burned up. I've got a lot of friends, a lot of people out there who's talked to me, telling me reasons I should go one way or the other. I've had a lot of friends it's saying that we need to go the other way on the candidates. When I was elected to do what I thought was best for the children. I thought that would be simple. All I got to do is do what's best for the children. Well, we've got too many factions in this city. We've got people that writes nasty things and puts it out in the public, on the internet. I think that's a disgrace, regardless what they think. It's a disgrace. It's defamatory. We've got officials that do things that I don't agree with. I think the system has been attempted to be circumvented from all different directions. I've also talked to teachers and educators, and I value what they tell me. They're the people that has to work with whom we hire. I'm going to make half of you mad at me, and I'm going to make half of you happy with me. But as one of the interviewers said tonight, if you're in here to make people happy and you worry about what they think, you shouldn't be here. So whatever decision I give tonight is going to be for the children. Thank you.
C.J. Haley.
Well, I guess I'll mimic Cody a little bit. I agree with him. We took that oath to do what's best for the children. I have a child in the schools here, and that's why I got into this. It's been a journey, definitely a learning process. I couldn't have asked for better people to interview for this. And like we've said, it's not going to make this process any easier. But I have to do what I think is best for our children and our community, and that is what I'm going to do, bottom line, every time. Every time.
Don Holsinger.
Tonight, we saw 3 candidates. I think all 3 candidates have the capability to lead this school if necessary, if they get elected. I'm ready to back whatever candidate we have. Do I have somebody I think is the best qualified? Yes. I have somebody I think is best qualified. When I ran for the board, I ran to try to make the best school system that we could get. In order to do that, we're going to have to do it right the first time. We're going to have to get this thing started right. And so hopefully we will pick the right person that does that. Thank you.
Chuck Hurt.
Well, I have to agree with everybody up here. We're all up here for the same reason. And that's because we love Millington, and we want to see what's best for Millington and our children. And in picking the right candidate, we all have different views and different opinions, and that's what makes this work. Personally, I think the one that with most experience is the best for, but that's just me. They all are good. Every one of them. Every one Dr. Cross brought to us were good candidates. Even the other 3 were good candidates. So, and it makes it very, very difficult. I sat here tonight and watched 3 candidates come in here that were totally different from when we first interviewed. Right. And they all impressed me. So.
Louise Kimmon.
I am first for the children. I have about 50 years plus in education. I probably have taught half the people sitting in the audience or had some contact through education. I do know a little bit about administration and a good bit about politics, but I'm not a politician. But my whole duty in serving, and I've been fighting 3 years for the school system. I don't care who we get. I want the very best, the one that has the most experience, and the one that I feel can hit the ground running. As all the rest of them have said, we all have the same endeavor for our schools and our kids. I think that each of these candidates has a plus. And in the end, I feel experience is the thing that we have to look at, because we have so many pitfalls that we've got to go through. I hate to quote somebody else, but Dr. Akins was interviewed, and I think it was on Channel 3, I'm not sure. He made the statement when they asked him a question, "You have had superintendent's experience, you'll be able to start running, they will have no problems." His answer was this, I'm paraphrasing it, probably won't be a direct quote. He said, "Yes, I have experience. Yes, I can start this school from scratch. Yes, I know what the curriculum needs." He told them the right answers for everything. And then he said this, "But the mountain is high that we have to climb, that the law and the politics will be there, and we need the seniority, and we need all the legal help we can get." So by saying that, my decision, the way I do it, what is the best thing for the kids, what is the best thing for this community, how will we come out of it best financially, and still have a semblance of order and the greatest school in Shelby County.
Greg Ritter.
I just want to add that I also will have 3 children in the system. So I'm thinking as a dad, but I've also over the past 11 years coached a lot of kids in this system. So when I make my decision, it's for my kids and all my other kids that are out there. So please remember that. And before I finish though, Mr. Qualls, I was going somewhere with what I was going to say and I got off track, but I would just like to take the rest of my time to thank Mr. Qualls for being a professional during this whole process. That our goal, once I got seated as chair, was to work with Mr. Qualls. And if we erred in anything, it was to protect the integrity of our process. So I want to publicly thank you for what you've done.
Thank you, Mr. Qualls.
But for being a professional and doing what we asked you to do. Thank you. All right. It's time to let the rubber hit the road.